Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a wonderful Lexus. It's an IS 250 SE with the optional sat nav fitted. It's an 07 car, but with just 49,000 miles on the clock. Finished in silver with a lovely black leather interior. The car's in really nice condition. As you can see there, the front of the car's really clean, no cracks or condensation in the lights at all. Bonnet, hard to see a stone chip anywhere on there at all. Near side of the vehicle, lovely and smooth in the panel work, absolutely beautiful. Alloys, weak point on all these cars is really good. It's not to say they're absolutely perfect, but they're pretty much close to it. A tiny bit of curbing on the outside. The panel work looks wonderfully original. The colours that match beautifully. Near side rear alloy, pretty much unblemished there. Bumper corners, again, wonderfully clean. Down to the offside, driver's side. As with the near side, I mean, it's just mirror smooth. Offside rear alloy, again, completely unmarked. And remaining panels, absolutely fantastic. It's one of the very best in this vintage you're going to see, and final alloys in just beautiful condition there. It really is one of the very best out there, surely. Coming to the boot area of the car, it's in beautiful condition. Apart from the shade, actually, because sunny days are lovely for videos, but for the weather, but terrible for videos. So this is the best way of doing them. But it's in absolutely gorgeous condition in there. All the tools, everything with the car. Coming to the back of the car, it's in absolutely beautiful condition in here. Coming to the front, again, all just been kept just absolutely amazingly well. Finally coming to the driver's side, again, door card, completely unmarked. Footwell area is lovely and clean. And the driver's seat, the one that takes all of the wear, shows virtually nothing at all. So inside the car now, engine's running through this section so the dashboard can be seen as I always try and do. Dashboard looks absolutely brand new. It's in incredible condition. Sat nav, as you can see there, working absolutely perfectly. If I pop the car into reverse, that lovely clear gridded parking camera, all working exactly as intended. But it's a lovely interior, but it is, as I said, been kept so well. Up to the dash binnacle. Hopefully you can see 49,423 miles, and there are no warning lights on the dashboard at all whilst the engine's running. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock wheel nut key are both here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Lexus IS 250 SE. This car is registered GK07ZMU. Mileage at the start of the road test is just 49,416 miles. As I say in all the videos, the reason we do them is very simple indeed, and especially so for this road test part. We just want to ensure that if anyone is online looking at any of our cars, they actually get to see them in operation. The reason for that is because we know, unfortunately, to our cost, just how frustrating it can be to go and see a car which can look perfectly good in videos and description and photographs, and only to get there and find out that when you drive the car it's got a fundamental issue which you'd much rather known about before setting off. So hence that's why we do it. We also do it on these lovely quiet country roads in this lovely part of Gloucestershire. We're blessed to live here and work here. This actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, and hopefully then it'll be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car itself, it's only had 2 owners from new, and with such low mileage you'd hope and expect it to drive well, and it doesn't disappoint in any way. Engine, push button start, starts instantly and settles to a smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car, and temperature gauge running just under half, which is exactly where it's meant to be on one of of these Lexus vehicles, and it's been running for quite some time, as I said. The engines are just lovely. It is everything you'd expect of a Lexus car in terms of just how smooth and quiet and relaxing the whole experience is. It's barely audible most of the time, and when you do press it, it sounds absolutely glorious. Typical V6 Wales, put your foot down, and it just sings. It's so smooth. You drive pretty much any other manufacturer's car of this vintage and they all seem really agricultural by comparison. It's a wonderful unit. Goes through into the Lexus automatic gearbox, which, like the engine, are incredibly strong and long lasting. Lovely gearbox to use. It's slick shifting, very smooth, quite quick on the shifts as well. You can, if you want to, tap it to the right and use it manually, either by the gear lever here or by the paddles on the steering wheel here, so changing up the gear with the right hand one, changing down with the left hand one. Quite handy if you're doing an overtake and you don't want the car to suddenly change up halfway through the gear, or the overtake manoeuvre. Engine and gearbox absolutely perfect in the way they're working, and no issues at all. Steering on the car, helped by the fact that it's rear wheel drive, means that you've got no drive shafts polluting the front wheels, and it's it's almost oily in the way it feels. It's so slick, really nicely weighted. It's not over light, which I absolutely detest, and it's really well tuned to the chassis as well. It works, and it's very confidence inspiring. So some steering can feel very direct and quick, but they can be very nervous at high speed. This at all speeds just makes you feel very comfortable with the car. Also, there's no vibrations at all at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit, and it tracks absolutely dead straight as well. Chassis of the vehicle, that bump there is horrible, by the way, which is why I try and go over it at that point. It's just to listen for any kind of mechanical noises coming from underneath the vehicle that shouldn't be there, and there's nothing at all. There's no kind of rattles or clonks at all. What the chassis gives you is a really very relaxed ride. It's very well damped. It holds the car really nicely through the corners. It's got a ability to kind of glide through corners, at all speeds. They've just hit what I think is the right side of kind of a sporty drive. Certainly if you wanted an out and out sports car in this category, you'd still go for a 3 Series. There's no two ways about it. But the flip side is, for 90% of driving, this gives you 90% of what the BMW gives you. And the other times, BMW can feel very hard and harsh on the road, whereas these, especially this horrible section of road up here, can feel very kind of clunky in sort of I've been up a few 3 Series up here, and they can really be sort of quite unsettled. Whereas this right, it's so much nicer. Brakes on the car, make sure no one's directly behind me. Going to give them a bit of a thump. But really good brake pedal on the car, nice and powerful. What I'm looking for in particular on any automatic gearbox is for any kind of pulsing or vibrations coming back through the brake pedal, and there's nothing at all. It's all in. They're all absolutely spot on there. Coming inside, a quite brilliantly put together car. There's no car of this vintage this is well built, in all honesty. Because this is a true test of build quality. You might as well be, and also it's in amazing condition in here. Whoever's had the car has kept it absolutely beautifully. As you know from the description of the vehicle online, obviously we're looking at a SE, but with the Navigator model. Big option on one of these cars, all working perfectly. So not only do you get the sat nav, you get reverse camera, you get hands-free telephone, and you get the Mark Levinson stereo, and it is a brilliant sound system. If you like your music, these are fantastic, because it's such a quiet car. When it's 60 miles an hour and it's whisper quiet, it's not trying to compete with the road noises, but the sound reproduction is absolutely superb, especially for this vintage car. Light years ahead of most of the other stuff out there. Being an SE, heated, cooled seats, all working absolutely perfectly. You've got this wonderful dash design with, you know, as I say, with lots of these videos, every button you press on one of these cars has a wonderful quality of actuation, really beautifully manufactured. All looks in absolutely stunning condition, as I said. And then come to the dash pinnacle, very typical of Lexus, just simple, and I love it. It's, again, very high quality dials, display, looks almost like a Swiss watch in the way it's presented to you. All working, as I said, absolutely perfectly as well. Steering wheel, leather bound, feels absolutely like new in hand. I mean, the interior is in just ludicrously good condition for a car of its age. It really is. As I said at the start of the video, it's only brief, but it is literally just to show the car whirring along and trying to pick up any issues I possibly can. I've found nothing whilst driving the car, absolutely nothing at all. It just drives absolutely beautifully. As I said in the walk around video, we're not trying to be the cheapest with this one, but the reality is there's very few that have been kept as well as this in terms of its overall condition. If you've got any questions about it, as always, don't hesitate, do give us a call.